What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got some Destiny 2 news. And of course we've had the first couple of days of the new season now, and Bungie have decided to jump in and respond to some of the feedback about the seasonal model for the game. So Joe Blackburn recognises the community frustration about certain elements of seasonal content, and he talks about their plans for the future beyond Lightfall. So some good recognition right there. Also, we have confirmation of a new Lightfall trailer dropping this week. And then Bungie helped clarify some fixes for weapon drops in the game. We're going to talk about placing Warmind nodes in the helm, the possibility of exotic armor coming up later on in the season from perhaps a different drop source from normal, but we'll also look at some hidden weapons, exotic perks, future rewards and more inside of the video. So as always guys, I hope you enjoy this one, but without further delay, let's get into it. And now that Season of the Seraph has launched, Destiny Bulletin on Twitter said that according to Steam stats at least, it had the lowest day one peak concurrent players, that is since Season of Arrivals. And they say the only one behind that was Season of the Worthy, which had 115,000 peak players on day one, whereas Season of the Seraph had 122,000 players on day one. Obviously Steam isn't the only metric to pay attention to when you're looking at player counts, but there's definitely some interesting data there. And connected to feedback about the seasonal model for the game, which we know has become a bit tired over the past couple of years, Joe Blackburn from Bungie said, "I wanted to step in and say, we've heard loud and clear the feedback with our current seasonal backbone. The team is excited to put some more creative risk into seasonal progressions, but there will be some time before the feedback catches up with the dev cycle." And so in terms of a preview, it says coming up next is Lightfall and Season 20, while Guardian ranks and Near Muna destination pursuits are going to shake things up. On the seasonal pursuit side, our major focus is reducing complexity and improving the synergy between your seasonal pursuits and the rest of the game. It goes on to say though, that Season 21 is at the halfway mark of development, and the team is currently looking at ways to differentiate progression, aside from having a more novel activity set up in the works. There's a bit of a tease that not only are Bungie working on making the activity content a little bit different to what we've seen, but they're also considering the progression side of things as well. And it says finally, as the last bugs on Season 20 and Lightfall are wrapping up, we're hardening our 2023 plans and are working to make improvements in this space every season next year. There's still novelty, thematic variety, and new ways to progress your character coming to Destiny over the next several months, but while we work to use this feedback in our future releases, I wanted to make sure everyone knows that your words are not falling on deaf ears. And so I think some positive feedback there from Bungie. They certainly recognise that the seasonal model has a few issues. I'd say one of the biggest things is that lack of innovation in this sort of gameplay side. Specifically the seasonal activity, the progress on the vendor, the upgrades, and accessing the new rewards. There isn't necessarily anything fundamentally terrible about that system, but it's a system that we've seen used over and over again. I mean, you could almost watch a video from back in Season of the Chosen on how the loot system works and the activity, and apply that more or less to what we've seen in the past couple of seasons as well. So I think it's a big positive that Bungie are at least recognising that feedback, but it is certainly going to take time until we start to see big changes on that front. So let us know what you think down in the comment section, guys. Are you tired of the current seasonal model? How are you feeling about this season in particular? And what would you love to see changed in the future? Definitely give us your thoughts down below. On the subject of the future though, the Game Awards said tomorrow, and they're referring to Thursday, I think it'll be much later on today or this evening, but prepare for a brand new Destiny the Game Lightfall trailer during the Game Awards show. And so there we have the confirmation, we're absolutely getting a new trailer. And as always, I'll do my best to keep you guys posted on that news when it drops. Some stuff related to the game right now though, and Bungie Help said they've deployed a fix that should now grant the Rose hand cannon upon completing placement series matches in the competitive Crucible, and those who couldn't acquire Rose due to the issue will be retroactively granted it upon logging out and logging back in. So good to see that one fixed, and share your thoughts about Rose down below. Players have also commented on the bug where it says there is an unclaimed triumph in the Seasonal Triumphs tab right now, and DMG said the team is digging on a fix for that. It looks like we're essentially unlocking future triumphs for weeks that we can't currently see, but Bungie are looking into whether that's working as intended. Something else related to Seraph that's been figured out in the past day or so, but those Warmind nodes we've been collecting on different destinations, upon being collected, can actually be placed in the helm. So if you go to the new wing of the helm, there's a space down in the back of the room where they can be added. Just something worth bearing in mind. And connected to that, of course, we're using the Resonance Amp to pick up the Warmind nodes, but in the future, as well as getting more of those nodes on the Seraph station, it looks like the Resonance Amp will become enhanced according to the database. I can't see what the difference is between the normal and enhanced version, but obviously there is some kind of upgrade path for that in the future. Something else that players have been discussing is the lack of exotic armor this season. Currently there aren't any available, and this absolutely is not confirmed, but players have noted that in the database there are 3 unnamed items that have classified icons for armor pieces that are exotic. There's one for a helmet, another showing a gauntlet icon, and another showing a boots icon. As for whether these are indeed placeholders for exotics in the future, I'm not certain. Players are speculating, could they come from the dungeon this time around, or are they going to be added at a later point in the season? I definitely can't say for certain myself, but it's interesting that the placeholders are there, and it seems like it is a possibility at least, so share your thoughts about that in the comments section. Something else exotic that we're seeing a bit more info about as well right now is the Revision 0 weapon. We spoke yesterday about how it will be visually upgraded, as well as receiving different perks and stats. And on top of this, it looks like it will have different kind of origin traits as well. So there is Hake Light Burst Fire, which fires a stable burst of 4 lightweight rounds. Then there's another version of that bonus, which is Heavy Burst Fire, which fires a less stable burst of 2 high damage and high range rounds. So those kind of denote the different firing modes that Revision 0 will see. Plus there's a perk called Hunter's Trace, which could be one of the intrinsics right here. And this weapon fires special shield-piercing ammunition. Precision hits will grant targeting data. Then by using the alternate weapon action, we can swap to the alternate scope, loading in high damage rounds based on the amount of targeting data. And this will be strong against shield-piercing barrier champions, so it's an anti-barrier weapon. And we now know that using the different firing modes will be through the weapon action, which is typically hold reload. But in order to benefit from this secondary mode, we'll need to load high damage rounds based on the amount of targeting data, which basically is by getting precision hits with the weapon. So by making crits, we'll be able to make that secondary mode more powerful. It definitely seems pretty exciting. There are also 4 different versions of the Hunter's Trace perk, and they actually show with different stats. So the base one has basically no stats. The second one sees those stats increased ever so slightly, and then the third and fourth ones essentially double those stats. And that's on top of the 4 different catalysts we know of, which essentially give the weapon Outlaw, Under Pressure, 4th times the Charm, or Feeding Frenzy. So very much looking forward to checking that weapon out. Another thing to check out is the Merciless this season. Bungie buffed this one, but the buff is actually quite a bit better than what we originally thought it would be. And from Zamanda Kabbalah on Reddit, along with the built-in Feeding Frenzy perk and Kill Clip perk, it now only takes 2 shots to reach extremely fast charge times, and the Conserve Momentum perk goes up to times 15 now, by which point the weapon is essentially instant firing. And you can see right here, it's absolutely chewing through some champions and doing a lot of damage to bosses. So much so that players actually speculate it could be bugged or broken. I think based on what we've heard, it probably is intentional, but maybe ever so slightly better than Bungie even intended, who knows? Either way, if you are a fan of Merciless back in the day, definitely don't sleep on it right now as it is incredibly strong. Let's move on for a moment and talk about some event stuff coming up though. There's an unknown currency in the database, a kind of hidden item, called the Lunar New Year Gift. And we can see it's got a red jade rabbit icon on it, which is interesting. And it looks like it's going to drop us a Jade's Burrow emblem, so there's a cool new jade rabbit emblem coming up. And as that first item says, it'll be a gift in celebration of the Lunar New Year. So if you're a Jade Rabbit fan, that's something to look forward to. Of course, we've also got the Dawning kicking off next week. We'll probably get details in the TWAB. We can see some cosmetic items for the event, like the Forward Erebus, which is an upgraded event card reward. That's an exotic sparrow there. There's also the Mountainside Shell, another event card reward. And then Bungie have actually gone ahead and updated all of the weapons for the Dawning, so we can see they also have slightly updated visuals that match each other. And so this year's event will see the return of the Zephyr Sword, as well as the Cold Front SMG, a new pulse rifle called Stay Frosty, and then the Avalanche Machine Gun and the Glacioclasm Fusion Rifle, for a total of 5 Dawning weapons which are available. Additionally though, looks like Aegis Scepter is getting the festive treatment with the Cold Cheer ornament, so as well as Vex Mythoclast Aegis and its Icy Stasis damage are going to have a super festive skin for the event this year. In addition to that, it looks like there'll be some extra quests as part of the event. So there's one called Rite of Dawning, where we need to search for a Red Legion datapad containing festive intel in the Firebase Hades, as well as a ceremonial cup from the cache in Pathfinder's Crash, some Torah Battle ceremonial vestments in the Arms Dealer Strike, and then we'll claim some Torah Battalion Red from the Drifter, that's some Cabal wine, I believe, before returning to Zavala and Eva Levante for a reward. Don't know exactly what it'll be for, but we're perhaps creating a gift for the Cabal and Kaidel's Legion that we've been working alongside. So there'll be some extra interesting objectives for the event. Once again, that one is dropping next week on Tuesday, and I'd imagine Bungie will speak about it a little bit before then. For the video today though, guys, that is everything that we have to speak about. So, as always, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Definitely give us your thoughts down below on both the seasonal model stuff and the upcoming rewards and content that we've yet to enjoy this season. If you've enjoyed the video today though, a rating below really does help us out. Plus, feel free to get subscribed to the channel if you want me to keep you posted with more Destiny content. But otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.